Number 8, Reese wants to make a scale drawing of her bedroom. Her bedroom is a rectangle with lengths 6 meters and width 5 meters. She decides to use a scale of 1 to 50. So here's our scale right here. That's a super important piece. Now, the first thing I notice is that this scale doesn't have any units in it. So it doesn't say, for example, 1 centimeter equals 50 miles. So that just means that we're going to be using the same unit. Okay, let's go look at part 1. It says, draw and label the dimensions of a scale drawing of Reese's bedroom using a scale of 1 to 50. So we've been talking about M over A, model over actual. So the model is going to be the 1, the actual is the 50. The model will always be the smaller, and then the actual will be the bigger. Okay, so we know that the actual measurement or the actual length of her room is 6 meters. So I'm going to put that on the bottom for actual. And then my unknown is, what is that going to be on the drawing? So when I cross multiply and then divide, I get 50x over here, and then 6 on this side. Divide both sides by 50. Okay. And that gives me 12 hundredths meters. So you could leave your answer in that form as meters, or we could change it to centimeters. And to do that, we would multiply by 100, or just move the decimal over 2 places. So that would be 12 centimeters. Now, either format for your answer would be acceptable. Just know that in real life, it would be better to say 12 centimeters instead of 12 hundredths meters. That's typically how you would see it. Okay, now let's look at the width. So again, we've got M over A, model over actual, 1 to 50. Okay, so 5 meters is the actual measurement. Okay, my unknown is, what is that going to be on her drawing? So we've got 5 on this side, and then 50 times x is 50x. Divide both sides by 50. And so we get 1/10 of a meter. So you could leave it like that, and that would be okay. But in real life, most likely you would convert it and say 10 centimeters. Okay, so I multiplied this by 100, or basically just moved the decimal over 2 places to get 10. So let's do a little drawing over here. Okay, so we could say 12 centimeters by 10 centimeters. So that's her drawing. Okay, part 2. Reese's bedroom door is 9/10 of a meter. How wide should the door be on the scale drawing? Again, we're sticking with that M over A, model over actual, 1 to 50. Okay, so we know that the actual measurement, which goes on the bottom, is 9/10 of a meter. So now I need to solve and figure out what is that going to be on her drawing. So when I cross multiply, I get 50x on this side, 9/10 on this side, divide both sides by 50. So we get tenths, hundredths, thousandths, 18 thousandths of a meter. But because that's such a small decimal number, like I mentioned earlier, typically we would convert it. And so that would be, move it over 2 places, 1 8/10 centimeters. Okay, so that's how wide we would draw her door on the model. Okay, part 3, Reese's desk measures 3 centimeters by 2 centimeters on the scale drawing. What are the actual measurements of her bed? Model over actual, 1 to 50. Okay, so we've got 3 centimeters in the drawing. My unknown is, what is that going to be in real life? Cross multiply 1 times x is just 1x. 50 times 3 is 150. Okay, divide both sides by 1, which really we could skip that step. And so we have 150 centimeters for one of the measurements. Okay, so we could leave it like that. or change it to meters, because for most of these measurements, the format we want is centimeters for the drawing and then meters in real life, just because those are the measurements that make the most sense. So I would move the decimal over 2 places to the left this time. I'm dividing by 100, so that would give me 1 5/10 meters. Okay, so either format would be okay. Now let's do the other measurement. So again, we've got model over actual, 1 to 50, and this time we're doing the 2 centimeter side. Cross multiply. We get 1x on this side, 2 times 50 gives us 100. Divide both sides by 1, which we know is not going to affect our answer. And so that's 100 centimeters. Or if we convert that, we're going to divide by 100 or move the decimal 2 places to the left. So that would be 1 meter. Okay, so the actual measurements are 1.5 meters and 1 meter. Okay, so this is our final answer for part 3.